Welcome back. All right, so today we are here with Barb and Jess with the Ivy Table in Brighton. What's going on, girls?
Nothing. Just happy to be here with you.
Good?
Well,
Good?
I'm excited. I've heard good things about you guys, but for the first time, we know nothing about anything with the business. So this is a first for us, and we're excited. So who are you guys, and what is the Ivy Table?
Well, we're kind of an easy one for you not to know much about because there aren't many people that are doing what we're doing.
Okay.
But the Ivy Table is a 501c3 nonprofit. We have a mission of using food and biblical hospitality to strengthen our community, to provide hope, and to share love.
Okay.
And we do that here through the Ivy Table Cafe, which is one part of our ministry, by running a Pay It Forward Cafe. That's a cafe that, to all appearances, looks kind of like a restaurant. You walk in, you order at the counter, you have an option of eating breakfast or lunch all day long. Everything's made in-house from scratch, but that's when things kind of turn sideways. And you are told right away when you come in, we have a suggested retail price, and those are only suggestions. And everyone who's comes into our restaurant is offered a free or reduced meal, and it's our pleasure to bless them with that. But then we kind of also spin it further and we ask everyone to think about how can you pay it forward? We're really trying to instill generosity within our community. We've seen this be an incredibly generous community. So we're asking people to try to think, how can you pay it forward? Could you contribute a little extra towards someone else's meal? Maybe if you have the option to do that, do you want to stay and do you want to volunteer with us? We're primarily run by volunteers.
That's awesome.
So you have a lot of options. So that kind of in a nutshell is what the cafe is about.
Mm-hmm. What I don't know, give us like a little backstory about you girls. Like, where did you what have you been doing? Is this your primary job? Is this is this volunteer work? What have you done? How long have you been in the community?
Okay, that's a lot of questions.
Let us in.
It's a loaded question, Nick.
Right, it is loaded.
Yes. We've both been here almost 30 years.
Yep.
Okay.
I'd say the backstory to this would be 10 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
We were just a couple of friends that started helping out at church for our Wednesday night dinners. It's a very small community of families before their classes. No cooking background whatsoever. We just, we'd take the recipes that we like to use at home and we'd try and figure out how to make them for more people. We had a team of volunteers that did it with us and we loved it. Wednesdays were our favorite. Mm-hmm. Long story short, that grew into a community dinner that was a pay what you can model. There was a basket outside the front of the table, and instead of just church members, it quickly had 300 people that were from all backgrounds, all walks of life. It was young and old and rich and poor, and they were all dining together. And week after week, I would say year after year, the donations that ended up in that basket matched the food costs. And then everything turned 7 years ago when Barb lost her husband, really unexpectedly, and she was floundering a little bit, and she needed something that was going to bring some purpose and some joy to her life. And the one thing we knew that we all loved doing was being in the kitchen together. So we were trying to figure out how could we get in the kitchen more. Yeah. And our first thought was let's start a nonprofit, a food-based nonprofit, to sort of do what we were already doing on a bigger scale. And when I looked into starting a nonprofit, it was like so much work and so much time and so much money.
Yes, it is.
And it seemed overwhelming. And another friend of mine looked at each other and were like, we don't have that kind of time. Like, Barb needs something now. And so we, very kind of in a silly, foolish way, thought, well, let's just open a catering company and we can basically feed people, we can minister to people with food, and if we're a for-profit business, we can give away our profits. Nobody can, there's not a lot of rules. You can, it's very easy to have a for-profit business.
Didn't think of it that way, that's smart,
yeah. So that's what we did, and things grew. The catering company grew more than we ever could have expected. A bunch of non-cooks running it, but we were loving what we were doing, and there was a basic, well, it was never a business. It was always a ministry disguised as a business, really.
Okay.
And through that, we started realizing that there's a lot of food waste. at the end of an event, the only way we knew how to not run out of food was to make too much food. And so then at the end of a wedding, we'd have trays of food, and what do you do with them? So we got connected with gleaners, and we started doing some work by packaging the food up and getting into the schools. And so that led to one avenue of our future ministry here. And then around COVID time, I ended up going to Thailand for my husband's job, where I saw a whole nother level of poverty. And I'm not a huge fan of the Facebook. However, it was an avenue to educate people on what was going on over there. And we ended up kind of getting a following through my travels there. And our catering company started funding food distributions in Thailand to the slums and to refugee camps and to places that we don't have that level of poverty here. I had never witnessed that level of poverty, but our followers started to fall in love with the country of Thailand, and people started sending us checks saying, use this for your ministry.
That's
and
cool.
we realized
That was really uncomfortable.
This is super uncomfortable because I'm a business, and then we just, as we got into the food waste part, the food salvage part, we realized we needed a bigger space. We needed a bigger kitchen. We were at that time working out of a church kitchen.
Okay.
They were so wonderful to us, but their ministries needed to come first, and we were really maxed out on space. So.
And we were partnering at that time with resources like Costco has food donation, and we were having to leave so much on the table there. When we would go to pick up, we could only take so much. But we knew that if we could get into our own space with our own kitchen, even if it was just that aspect of our ministry where we repurpose food and put it into single-serve containers, that there was so much potential for that to grow and how that could impact this county. So that's when Jessica convinced me we needed to start looking for a commercial kitchen.
We did, and that was our task. We just wanted a commercial kitchen, and we contacted realtors, many of them, and they all said there are no commercial kitchens.
Well, this used to be J. Alexander's, correct?
And then
It
Bar
was.
None, or Bar
no,
One.
that was down the road.
It
No,
was
that's right.
Brighton House originally.
That's what it
and
was.
then
Yep, that's what it was.
And
Yeah.
it's vacant 7 years when we looked at it.
Yes, and the great story about that is, although God said to us, it's time to get a space.
I did not want this space.
We had no money. We had $0 in the bank to buy
That's
a
true.
space.
Done.
Yet we were looking at spaces. Then we came to this one because it was the only thing in the area that had a commercial kitchen, and it was horrible. It was disgusting.
7 years
It was-
vacant.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
sitting there for a
dirty.
while,
And it was
I'm sure.
not vacant. It just was vacant of human
Yes.
beings.
Right.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
was
Lots of
a
animals.
lot of
Right.
activity. But it's not the most beautiful location.
Right.
It's against an expressway. It's mostly parking lot. I think the two of us both thought if we ever had a space of our own
must be
someday,
pretty.
it'd be beautiful, right? With hills and trees and greenery, and this was anything but. And it took us 3 different visits here. Every time we would leave thinking it's worse than it was the first time. But God just kept telling us, go back and look again. And by that 3rd visit, we're like, okay, this is our...
I got to tell you, so right back
Okay.
here behind us was the bar. It was a really
Yeah.
big, huge, impressive bar. And Jessica was opening every cabinet. Like, we were looking to see what was in them, and it was really empty. Everything had been
We were
emptied out.
expecting
But we
something to
thought
come
like
out.
a squirrel,
An animal
like
jump
a
out?
mouse, something's going to jump out. So every cabinet, she opened the last cabinet, and the only thing that was in there was a Bible. And for us as faith-based women, and this was a calling we felt God was put on us,
That
we're
was
like,
it.
There's
all
no
right,
such
that's
thing as
it.
coincidences
Boom.
either.
Yeah,
We didn't
so
think
we
so.
And
thought-
you say you're sitting here and you're like, oh, we wish we had this, beautiful building out, in the hills and the this and that. But it's kind of like a church where the outside, the vessel doesn't matter. It's the people that you bring inside,
Yeah.
right?
100%. 100%.
And I will say, first time walking in, this is a gorgeous building. So you guys have done a lot of work.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful here.
It didn't start like that, and that was not the plan when we purchased it. We wanted to clean it up. We thought we'd slap a little paint on it.
Get over
What we found was, though, there was a lot wrong with the
I'm
building.
sure there
It
was.
years of neglect,
Yep.
and buildings deteriorate when nobody's in them.
Yeah.
And so there were a lot of things that we found that it would have been really easy for us to say, it's okay, we'll pretend like we don't know that's wrong. We'll pretend
Right.
like that's
Right.
not there. We couldn't. And our community rallied together. I think from the time we decided maybe we were going to purchase this place and we started telling people what we thought we wanted to do here, within maybe 6 weeks, we had like $500,000 to put down as a down payment. Like,
awesome.
I mean, the community
Yeah.
just like, they got their teeth into what our vision was, and they have just supported us. And that, with the building here, I think the biggest thing that happened was that Hobbs and Black Architects got wind of what we were doing, and they said, first they were going to come and help with the site plan, and then their designer said, well, we'll give you our design team. Like, let us help you do the interior. And the design team, without our knowledge, came up with these beautiful renderings, far nicer than we could afford to do. And they brought us, I'll never forget the day they brought us this board with the renderings of what it could look like on the inside. And I said to them, don't show that to Barb. Like, we can't afford that.
Right.
We can't afford any of it. And they just looked at us and said, you don't have to. We already went to manufacturers on your behalf. Shaw Flooring wants to donate your flooring. Virginia Tile wants to donate your tile. And
Oh,
then
That is awesome.
It gives
volunteers,
me chills just thinking of
That
that.
was
That is super
volunteers
cool.
put hundreds and thousands of hours into cleaning this up and painting and hanging the tile. And there's not a piece of this space that volunteers haven't had their hand in.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Super cool, absolutely.
So you guys have had this building for about 7 years, roughly?
No.
Okay.
It was vacant 7 years. We bought it in August. We renovated it. We opened in April.
What year was that?
This year.
Oh, this year.
Yes, we.
Oh, so you
So
bought
we've
it.
had the building a little over a year.
So you bought it August of 2024.
Yes, and we just
And you
opened
just
it
opened up.
April.
April
Okay.
of 2024.
Wow.
Because
Okay.
that's what, when he was telling me about it and he told me where it was, I was like, the J. Alexander's building? I was like, I'd never seen it here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I live right down the road too. Like, it's embarrassing that I live less than 2 miles from here.
Oh, we'll
Less than a
expect
mile
you
from
for
here.
lunch.
Now I'm in.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
We hear that all the time. We feel like sometimes, I don't know, like the newspaper called again and the pot, and we're like, people must be so tired of hearing our story. But then
Not at all.
we talk to people and they're like, we've never even heard of you, and
Yep.
we're right down the street.
Yeah,
So,
and everyone wants to hear that feel-good story, you know, and they want to hear that you have a community that has rallied together in order to make this.
Well, and I think education has been such a integral part of what we've been doing, because I think most people are like, we live in Livingston County, this is an affluent county, we don't really have a problem with food insecurity.
Sure,
This
we
is
do.
But we so much
Yep.
do, and when people hear, like, we like to educate them on statistics. 13% of the people in Livingston County are food insecure, but I think the more astounding statistic is that 50% of those people do not qualify for any form of government assistance.
Oh, wow.
So those are the people next door to you. There's a kid, I mean, they're the people that are like, from all appearances, everything looks like it's going okay, but really behind, they're barely being able to pay the bills. They're having to make, judgment calls. Am I eating? Are my kids eating? What are we feeding?
Sure.
So to be able to come into this community and provide a resource, not only a cafe where you can come in and get a nutritious, healthy meal, but then we have our free meal fridge, and that's our other part of our ministry is our Connecting Tables program. And out of our free meal fridge, which is located in the front of our building right now, I'd say on a daily basis, at least 40 meals go out of that a night, 7 days a week.
Wow.
And that's not to account for the other free meal fridges that we have planted other places in those community. This is just the only one accessible to the public.
Okay.
So we have other ones that we do within several alternative high schools, as well as Bethel Suites, which is a transitional housing community here in Livingston County. So we're trying to target and plant refrigerators that we can fill with food surplus in such a way that we can fill them consistently on a weekly basis, and not grow too big, too fast, that, if we plant a fridge, we want to make sure it's being maintained.
Sure.
So how does all this work then? So
Good
what
question.
are your hours? How does that all kind of work as the cafe part of it?
we are super excited because we're up to 4 days a week now. When we started in April, we were 2 days a week. Having never run a restaurant before, this has been a huge learning curve. And most of the people that work with us have never worked in a restaurant before. So we're really just making it up as we go along. But it's been amazing. And because we have roughly 400 volunteers that work with us.
Wow.
So we went from 2 days to 3 days, and we're now at 4 days a week, Tuesday through Friday, 8:30 to 1:30. So we're just a breakfast and lunch spot. I mean, she explained to you how it works when you walk in.
Yeah, so
but
just so someone walks in, go to the
so-
counter, order food,
And the key is that we want people to be able to eat here with great dignity. So every single person will be asked the same question when they go to the register. Whether we know that you live in your car or whether we know that you own 3 businesses in town, you're going to be asked the question, can we bless you today with a free meal? And so there's no, I'm not going to drill you on why do you need a meal. There's no paperwork to fill out. With great dignity. Then, if somebody needs a meal, oftentimes, they don't want to ask. They're embarrassed to ask. And so the fact that they can just kind of smile and kind of nod their head a little bit, and we're like, we got you. And then again, we'll ask them how they can pay it forward. So everybody that serves the food is a volunteer. Everybody that busses the tables, we have washing the dishes, cleans. They come in and clean. Our cleaners are amazing. They come in and clean a couple times a week. When we have a garden out front in the summertime, all volunteers keep care of that.
Cool.
So it's
Very
amazing.
cool.
We have volunteers that help collect our surplus food. So when she talked about those refrigerators, that is all food that would normally, it's all perfectly good food that would end up in the garbage. Some of it is from other, restaurants, catering companies that end up with large amounts of surplus. Like we've got a golf course that calls us at the end of the weekend after their events that have full trays of food. We use that. She said that we pick it up at Costco. We use what we can here. There's really nothing wasted. And then the beauty of this cafe is when you come in and you can pay it forward, you're not just helping people in Livingston County, because the ministry that I started in Thailand continues, and we're feeding hundreds, like literally hundreds. We've got about 500 kids up at the northern part, migrant kids that have been separated from their families. So they've come from the country of Myanmar, which we don't hear much about here, but great unrest in that country. And so we help to feed and clothe and educate and everything those kids. And we visit them twice a year, and so they're not just statistics. We're not just feeding people.
You're not just sending 40 cents a day overseas.
We're feeding the
you actually
kids
see where it's going.
And we know their names, and they're a part of this building. And
That's
we
cool.
feed families that live in the slums. And when we go, we visit them, and we deliver to their homes, and we attend their church. And part of the kids are here in the building. I mean, this is very Thai inspired. This is what a cafe would look like when we're in Thailand. So you guys can't see it on the camera, but I hope that you will come in. And the baskets that on that wall, we carried on the airplane from Thailand.
Oh, yeah.
Down the hallway there, we've got a mural with some hearts, and all of our kids in Thailand painted those hearts.
Oh, cool.
We've got elephants from Thailand, and it's really subtle, but it was really important to us that a part of them was represented here.
Absolutely.
Because what happens in here, it doesn't benefit us. It's literally around the world.
So how does it work with that part? Do you have people that work there year round that you ship food and they hand it out, or how does that part work?
So we have two different ministry partners that are there. One is in the town that Jessica and Dan lived in when they were there. And it's a Christian ministry organization that we partner with there. So they help us with the distribution. Same way we work with two Christian refugee schools up in Myanmar, in Mesat, which is on the Burma border.
Okay.
So we work through those schools to help them to be able to source and supply food to the students. Yeah. So.
And then we visit twice a year to check in on things and let them know that they haven't been forgotten about.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean, a lot of times you see, send 40 cents a day, you're feeding somebody, you don't know where it's actually going. Right. Or, after the Super Bowl, we shipped our shirts over, and it's like, did you really, you don't really know those things. So it's nice to actually have that hand in on everything.
That's really important to us if we're sending money there. Part of it is an oversight. It's a responsibility thing.
Absolutely.
But the other part is that, again, they're not just numbers to us.
We know
we love these kids, and the hugs and the tears that when we leave them are real.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the cafe, but you guys still do catering out of it as well then?
So the brains behind most all of this, I would say, is Jessica. And just as we were thinking through this and meeting with advisors when we were trying to formulate our nonprofit, part of our revenue stream is that we do rent this building out on the weekends as an event venue rental.
Okay.
So we, as far as the Ivy table and our kitchen staff, will provide in-house catering for events that are here, but we no longer have our for-profit business. We've shut those doors, and we're no longer doing any off-site catering.
Gotcha.
So our focus is really on the ministry that's going on here and how we can sustain it. Because as Jessica said, we really want this to continue for this community for the long term. That's why we did the hard work of making sure the building was done correctly, because long after we're gone, we want this to continue being something that gives back within our community.
So it's really hard for me to get the number 400 volunteers. So
I have to try to remember most of their names.
I try to that'd be rude, but what do they all do? That's a lot of people.
No, they're not. I would say we've had almost 400 volunteers come through our volunteer training.
Yeah.
I will not say that all of those volunteers have jumped in. Some of them come in and say, I want to do more. I'm heading off to Florida. We're wintering, but when I come back, some people come in and they volunteer once or twice every month. I have some volunteers here though that come in, and we're open, as Jessica said, 4 days a week, and they might be here 3 out of the 4 days a week.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they might do a double shift because this is honestly where they want to be and they want to spend time. And one part that we probably haven't communicated as much, we talked about what happens when you get to the counter, but when you get into our dining space, we actually have a community dining room. We were very intentional about letting people know it's a community dining space. We do have a couple smaller round tables, but a lot are long community tables where you're going to sit and people actually grow in relationship with one another here. You get to know people. You may come in by yourself, but I can guarantee you when you leave, you'll have talked to at least 1 or 2 other people, if not, more people around your table. Just because our volunteers are constantly engaging. We found as we were experiencing and walked through COVID here, so many people are isolated and alone. And we tend to get people coming in here that sometimes we get older people coming in that don't have a lot of interaction with other people, and a lot of people that are struggling within our community. Sometimes that isolates them as well. So this is just really a space where I think there's a lot of connection going on. So that's one thing our volunteers do. They pour into the people that are here.
That makes sense, because with Thanksgiving just behind us, you see like a couple of these bars and restaurants like, we're open on Thanksgiving. I'm like, what? People should be with their families. And then people are like, but then you'll see like, where's somewhere open? And you don't realize there are people that just don't have anybody.
have
So it's
families
great to have
there,
that
yeah.
community aspect of everything.
We have so many what we call community members who come here because they need a meal, but they need the community even more. And we have a few that have said to us, like, you guys are, I don't know how it was worded, but basically you
You're like
treat me
family.
better.
You guys are family.
You treat me better than my own family. A lot of times when people are going through hardships and they're living in their car, a lot of times family sort of turns their back. They can be an embarrassment, and there's not a lot of places in town that if you walked into and said, I live in my car, can I hang out with you, that are going to say, yeah, come on in, and then they're going to love on you, But this is a place where they do, and our volunteers, they thrive just simply loving on our guests. They're not in it for the money. They don't get tips. They just come because their heart says this is what they should be doing, and it's really the most beautiful thing.
I mean,
This is really cool.
that's awesome. And then you've got the other things that people can go get the food 7 days a week if they can't make it here during the times that they are here.
Yes.
100%.
Are there plans to have more of those, or are plans to just kind of stay as it is with those, or?
Oh, there's definitely
Free meal
plans to
fridges.
have more free meal fridges. Right now, our emphasis really this year is getting, as Jessica mentioned, we're new to this whole running I won't call it a restaurant, cafe, because the restaurant to me
It makes
seems
us feel
overwhelming.
better to call it a cafe.
Running a
But
restaurant is
really
very
a restaurant.
overwhelming.
It's very much
Right,
overwhelming.
there you
If you
go.
want a first-hand experience, yes,
right.
it's very overwhelming.
So I call it a cafe.
Yeah.
But just learning how to do this has been a lot. So we have not wanted to grow, but there is so much potential to grow the connecting tables. There are so many other catering businesses that we haven't even ever tapped into that we know just from our little small catering business how much food surplus we had and how impactful it can be for our community. If you could just capture that food waste, no one in this county should go hungry.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much food to be had. So
Well, and we have a waiting list of like 7 or 8 locations that want a free meal fridge. And I mean, these are big, the health department, Trinity Hospital, like big names are saying, we see a need, we would love to be able to provide that.
Like
to our
Livingston,
people.
Right.
Livingston County Health Department has
Yeah.
reached out to you guys?
So
That's awesome.
we found Trinity Health to be one of the most
Yes.
startling ones because, I mean, we have a good contact connection with them, and we thought, well, they want them for clients that are coming in, and although that is true for people that are coming in to be checked out that maybe have proper nutrition, but they said, we know that we have a lot of minimum wage staff members here that could use that as a resource.
Didn't even think of that. Like,
But that's everywhere. I mean, that's not
Yeah.
just there. But so that just shows you how prevalent it is within our whole community. It's just kind of like a hidden. Food insecurity is really
It is
hidden
hidden
in
here.
most
It is.
aspects here.
Exactly.
I know you mentioned like that there are people out there, like you think that Brighton is, we've got all these car dealerships and you don't see an old car driving around. There's all these nice neighborhoods, right? So you just think Brighton's perfect and it's all, rainbows and whistles. But you know, like we've taken lost and found stuff or stuff that my kids have grown out of, and I've donated them to churches, and I've actually shown up at these churches, and there's one in downtown Brighton. I've taken my stuff, and I've seen some people in there that I'm like, wow, I had no clue that Livingston County, let alone Brighton, had people that were struggling in that aspect. It was kind of very eye-opening. It's like, we're not in this, you know, perfect movie bubble.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's real life, like, and there's, even in the nicest communities, you have people that are struggling, and that's very unfortunate.
But I think what you're doing is really helping, because I think once you open your eyes to see what's going on around you, then you see it.
Yeah.
You know, it's until you acknowledge that this exists within my community, and I'm going to intentionally try to see it as opposed to avoid seeing it. It's so interesting. So as we've engaged and met different people as we've been doing this here, I can't get over how often I'm around town, and it's just everywhere to me. You know, to be able to see someone and be like, I wish I had a card, because we will have these cards that just tell people who we are and invite them to come in.
Right, come on
receive
in,
a free
come
meal.
get a meal, absolutely.
But it's I think it's about awareness, and I think what you guys are doing right now is super important for people to
Thank
be
you.
aware, because we've combated that question when we were originally pitching this idea and asking people if we were crazy. They're like, well, we don't really have people like that in Brighton. I mean, like, they would just outright say, and we're like, yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
You know, just you need to open your eyes to
Yeah, you need to take this and move it to another city where
Go to Detroit. No. There's there's people just as bad here as there are in major cities.
This should be everywhere. Every community.
I agree.
should
It
have
looks
this.
different in Detroit,
Yep.
and I would say there's less of a stigma to need food help when you're in Detroit. Like
Sure.
when there's a soup kitchen on every corner and everybody around you needs that
Yeah.
same help, it's fine. That's normal, right? To go in.
I was gonna
there.
say, it's
In-
been normalized
in
almost,
Livingston
unfortunately.
County, there's a great stigma. There's a lot of people that need help that are embarrassed. They're embarrassed to get help, and that's the beauty of here is, you know, we say we know their stories because a lot of them have shared with us, but we don't know everybody's stories. And when you walk in here as a guest and you look around the dining room, you would never know that there were people living in their car. Like you can't tell. You can't.
Right.
They don't look any different
everyone's
than
just sitting
everybody
as
else.
people and not, I
Yes.
wonder if they paid for the meal, or they was that a free meal? Like, they're all just
you don't
here
know.
getting
And
together.
The other really beautiful thing that you would not know is happening necessarily is when somebody comes to the register and it rings up as a free meal, that indicates to the back of our kitchen that when the plate goes out, a little shopping list goes with it. And so whatever we have in our kitchen that we can share, whether it's fresh produce, whether it's canned goods, we try and keep some canned goods back there because those that live in their car can't have the perishable things.
Sure.
But we love giving away fresh fruits and vegetables and meat and whatever we have in surplus. So while they're eating, they have this little shopping list and they can check off what they want. And then our volunteer will take the shopping list into the kitchen and in to-go bags. They'll pack
That's awesome.
groceries.
That's
And then the
awesome.
groceries come to the table in a to-go bag. So again, you're sitting in the dining room, you just assume that they have food that they're bringing home, leftover food to go, but it's really groceries that they need to get them through a few days.
It just speaks volumes of who you guys are and just your mission behind everything, because no one would have thought of that, and that's
We're
amazing.
big proponents of saying it wasn't us.
It wasn't us.
We're, as I said, we're faith-based people, and we know that, I mean, we can document every way that God's orchestrated this over the years. It was more of us dragging our feet and kind of thinking, he does things through people where he takes the people that are least qualified and he shows up. So
doesn't
we're
get less
very unqualified for what we're doing, but we're
Yeah.
super grateful
You
to
have
have
the heart and the
opportunity to do
passion.
it. Yeah, we're super. I mean, it's this is the best ride. I say it every day when people are like, "Oh, you guys are working a ton." I'm like, when it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
I mean, there are days when you have hard things
Yeah.
going on, but when the cafe is open and it's full of people, it's the best place to be.
That's cool.
So one of probably the hardest question I'll ask is, what's next for this? Right, like you guys talked about your Livingston County, right? Do you guys want to focus on other counties, or what's your guys' goal for the next 100+ years, right?
Wow, we got another 100 years, huh?
Well, you said if not, there's other people that are ready.
Our goal is not to, I mean, people say, like, when are you going to franchise? Where's your next one? That is not our goal in any way. I will say what we did here and the way that it organically happened was super unique, but I think it worked the way it did because of our presence in this community and our knowledge of this community and the familiarity that the community had with us. I think if I took what we did here and I brought it over to Oakland County and I tried to plant it as a stranger in that county, I don't think it would have worked. So should someone else want to do this, could we share with them what we did? Yes.
Love to do that.
I'm still not convinced that what we did is something that anybody can replicate. It was kind of just this God miracle over and over and over again, and it shouldn't have worked, but it did.
But I would say to Jessica's point, like, I think if I were to say, what do we want to be doing? We want to be doing the same thing that we're doing today, but having the ability to get more people to come in to receive it. I would say if there's any area of growth, it's to do what you guys are doing, and it's to speak out about what we have and what we're offering, both as a way of providing means for someone that doesn't have it, but the ability for so many people want to contribute and be generous within the community and don't know a way to do it. They just don't know a way to do it, and to be really impactful. And this is a way to do it and be impactful and stay and participate, like be a part of the solution.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I would say. I said we want to continue to sustain this, to do this really well. I would say we want to grow the free meal fridges and be able to fully utilize what food surplus is within our community. And then we just want to see our community grow stronger and be healthier.
We'd love it if everyone in Livingston County knew who the Ivy Table was and what the Ivy Table did ultimately.
I love the free meal fridge. That's super cool. Like, I mean, I don't know, maybe we could talk after this or whatnot. Like, I don't know how me being another restaurant and whatnot, if there's something I can do to help with that or whatnot. But like I said, I would like a little bit more info, once we're done with this, just kind of.
It's a great resource and it's helpful,
It is.
especially the ones that are off sites.
Or like you even mentioned too, like some people just might be embarrassed. It might be easier for them to, grab something from outside. They don't want to show their face. They're falling on hard times, but they were always good before. It's embarrassing. So it's a way for somebody to be able to get that meal, and also I don't want to say save face, but you understand what I'm saying. Where it's like there's embarrassment that falls on that. I know myself. There's been times over the years, where you're living paycheck to paycheck and you fall behind on some bills and you got kids and you're just, what am I going to do? And it's a very scary thing, especially around the holidays.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is there's not a qualifying factor to getting a free meal here. So it's not like you have to be unemployed or you have to live in your car or you have to be at the poverty level. You can be a great working family and just not be able to afford to go out to eat.
Just going through a rough patch.
Not even a rough, like maybe this is just your life. Like your budget is such that eating out doesn't make the cut, but you're not suffering. Come and join us. Like we want to bless you with free meal. There's nothing that discounts you from coming and just enjoying.
Is there anything you guys are looking for as far as like volunteers or food, or is there anything you guys need from everybody that's watching this that might say, oh, I know this person or that person?
People helping people.
People helping people.
I know. Well, I will tell you, this community, there's not a single thing that we have asked for that we haven't received. In fact, 2 days ago, this was so great. So we haven't owned a building in the winter before, and so I knew that winter was coming. I didn't realize winter was coming so fast. So when we saw 2 days ago that we're expecting like 8 inches of snow, like, oh no, I actually don't have anybody lined up to plow my parking lot. Like, and we were hosting Fishes and Loaves here yesterday, which is a free meal. It rotates around churches. We're the only non-church that hosts it, but every Sunday there's a free meal for anybody in the community that needs it. And we were hosting it, and I realized I can't bring people to a parking lot that has 8 inches of snow. And so as we did, we went to our followers on Facebook, and I just said, Snow SOS, please help us. I don't know how to, I don't have anybody lined up. Can anybody help? And we got so many people that responded, and sure enough, some guy showed up and just shout out to Big Phil. Big Phil.
Phil.
Big Phil.
Good work, Big Phil.
Good job, Phil.
Yes, he came and he plowed the whole lot. He shoveled. He did everything just because.
I mean, it looks great. It looks like it was done.
Yeah,
it's cleaned off. There's salt out there. It looks great.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I wish I would have known that before. I would have given my boy Troy a call.
Yeah, we got Troy on
Like,
that.
hey, Troy.
Troy, you're up next.
Okay. He'll come out and do it himself too. He loves pushing snow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, you asked a very good question, and I'd love to have things arise.
Good question, Jake.
Great question.
Things arise all the
question.
time, especially in a building as old as this. So right now,
But even just the constant, I mean, like, it's kind of boring, but as a nonprofit, we have expenses.
Yeah.
We have, I mean, yes, people do come and yes, they pay it forward. And I will say the pay it forward, it definitely covers the meal costs. It doesn't cover, my 20-person staff. It doesn't cover rent. It doesn't cover the, $1,000 electric bill and gas bills and all the other things. So having supporters, even on a monthly basis, is super helpful. And it's great for people who can't come into the cafe, either because of work or you just live a little too far, it's inconvenient. We have, one-time giving is huge, but the reoccurring giving is really huge. And, tomorrow's Giving Tuesday, and we're really trying this year to raise some additional funds so we can provide more food in Thailand. When I was at that school last week, because I just got back, one of the schools we support, and I was talking to the teachers, there are 17 teachers for 250 kids.
Whoa.
And the kids live there. They're without families. And the teachers live there 24/7. So their job is to educate the kids, and they're parenting the kids, and they're encouraging the kids, and they're cooking for the kids, and it's a full-time job, and they don't make much. I think like 4,000 baht, so it's like $160 a month is what these teachers get paid to work 24/7. And last month, the school, it's all privately funded, this school was running low on funds. And all 17 teachers agreed to not accept pay so that the kids could eat.
Wow.
Wow.
Totally
Like
different.
they only get fed 2 meals a day. It's primarily rice and beans. They very rarely get, fresh fruits and vegetables and meat and stuff. And so to have to worry about where the 2 meals a day are coming from, to have to choose between, your own welfare and that of your students, like in our mind, just is not okay. And it's not that, it's $3,000 a month will feed all 250 students for the entire month.
I'm sorry, say that again?
$3,000 a month
Yeah.
feeds the 250 students 2 meals a day. Like that's all it takes. So you divide that down, and it's like, if we had 50 people that gave us $50 a month or something, we'd have that covered for the entire year, all of their food costs.
That's
so the
ridiculous.
money goes so far there, and they're really they're very frugal in what they purchase and how they spend things, and they grow as much as they can. But we would love to be able to just support them more. We've got some projects going on over there. We're building a new girls' dorm in one of the locations. We built bathrooms. We built a kitchen, a dining hall. I need to add a sink to that kitchen now. They don't have a sink, so they're using buckets to wash all those 250 plates right now.
Wow.
So we've got some projects that we're going to try and do over there again this year. I think that's where probably
That's our biggest need.
that's our biggest need right now, and nobody here will get to see it. But when you dine with us and when you support us, it's what you're doing.
So you talk about, needing funds, and how could somebody get a hold of you guys to do something like that?
We have a website, theivytable.org, where you can sign up to give there, or again, come to the cafe and pay it forward.
Yep.
That's always a great way, and then you get a great meal, and we get to talk to you.
We're always happy to share a story. Our website does a really good job of sharing about the different components of our ministry and explaining more of that as well. So.
Yeah, I'll make sure to put all that in our socials, on our YouTube page, so it's all there. But it's kind of an open floor right now. Is there anything you would like to just get out there that maybe someone doesn't know, or you want to just invite, or anything other than coming to visit you guys?
Did we miss anything?
I don't think we missed anything. I just would encourage everyone to come in. I think one thing that keeps people coming back, not only is it a great experience, but we have a really talented staff in the kitchen that really pours their heart and soul. There's, as a lot of people have commented, there's a lot of love in our food. So it's a really great dining experience, and I think once you come and experience how the cafe is, you just find it's a really unique experience, and you just want to come back because you feel like you're part of a family. When we were originally talking to our board about this, we said, and this isn't original, it came from a book, but it's a place where we wanted to make strangers neighbors and neighbors friends. And we've seen that grow here, where there aren't many people that walk in here that stay strangers.
Yeah.
So.
It's one of our community members said to us a few months back. He said he comes in just about every day for a free meal, and he said one day, this place is just like Cheers without the alcohol. And we just thought that was so
You got your own norm that
Yeah,
walks
it
in?
is. It's hilarious.
so much fun.
Yep, that's
because
not his name, but yep.
It's great. It's
just
great.
like Cheers
Well, I thought
without
of two more
alcohol.
things though. Practical things is Like follow us on Facebook because
Yep.
we're always
Yep.
sharing stories from the cafe. I mean, every day there's a new story. And the other thing, because I'm looking at this wall here, is corporate partners. There's so many businesses in this area that can do really great things, and we would love to partner with them. And then, in return, put their business up on the wall just to show the rest of the community where they're investing their heart and their finances.
Yeah.
I think that's really important.
I love this. This is great.
It's
It's like you guys, Planet Fitness wants to say that they're the judgment-free zone. You guys are. Like
Really
you said,
are.
someone could be living in their car. Someone could just be a hard week, or that's their means or whatever they do, and you guys, you don't care.
Nope.
You accept anyone that wants to come in here.
I mean, I knew of the place. I knew kind of the idea of it. I didn't know
I had an
how
idea.
deep it goes. I had an idea
But
of
barely.
it.
Like,
Right,
I was just, and that's why I said I'm embarrassed. I live less than 2 miles away from here.
Well, now we're
and
going to see it all the time.
You probably will.
Yeah.
I'll be around. You girls should come out and see me. Like like I said, if there's something we can maybe collaborate together. I'd love to.
that's right.
Now, is this going to be? Is this the first holiday season that you guys are having with a brick and mortar?
It
Yes.
is.
Okay. And are you like what are you anticipating? What are you?
We're not.
No.
We're not. Well, I think we decided we're not going to be open Christmas week.
Okay.
Okay.
I think when you're heavily dependent on volunteers,
Sure.
it's not a great week for them.
Sure.
We're not quite sure what the traffic would be, so there's some discussion right now whether we're going to do some like heat and eat meals or what we're going to do that week. But stay tuned.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're
Awesome.
figuring it out.
Yeah, we don't know anything about. You'll have to educate
Just
us
kinda
later
winging it.
on what
Yes.
happens in the restaurant industry. We're not the norm, so we just figure. Hopefully, people will still keep coming.
Sure.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's a great concept, and I love the ideas, and I can't wait to see what those next steps are, or if it's just 5 days a week or 6 days or whatever you guys' plans are. I would love to just see what you guys do.
They're like, no.
No,
we're okay with what we're doing.
Yes, we are.
4 seems like
Well,
so
unfortunately,
much.
you girls are doing such a good thing here that you're eventually going to grow and blow up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just just accept that that's inevitable.
If
You guys
could
are doing such a
clone-
good thing.
Clone us, and then we could.
Oh God, I wish I had clones. Trust me, it makes this industry way easier.
If there's any really great like professional help out there
Oh, yeah.
that wants a really lovely work environment with
We take even part time.
yeah. It's like we just have fun. We have a handful of people that have worked in kitchens before, and they all say to us,
This
"This
unlike-"
is not like any kitchen I've ever worked in. It's a happy place. It's a supportive
It's like
place.
grandma's kitchen back there, just having a
It
good
is.
time
Yeah.
making wholesome comfort
Well, we
food.
could definitely use more hands there. We don't use volunteers in the kitchen currently.
Right.
That's all paid staff. And if you're a praying person, I just pray over our ministry, the people here. I would say the bigger we grow, it seems like the more we're under attack. Not just we are, but our staff, our volunteers. We were sort of warned that might happen.
I think it's a good problem to have
Yeah.
at the end of the day. It's scary. It sounds overwhelming, but like I said, you have a very good product on the table.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that like
The
if
Ivy
you
table.
have
Oh, there you go.
haters, that you're doing something right.
Yeah.
So if people are upset about it, that means you're doing something to disrupt the normal and doing the right things.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you guys so much. I'll have all the socials, I'll have all their links up in our description as well as on the YouTube page. If you are looking for a meal, come check it out. Even if you don't need a free meal, you just want to come in and pay for your meal, please come in because that's how it'll help them out. So we appreciate you guys so much and can't wait to look forward to what you guys have coming soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
girls.
guys. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having us.
I don't know what to say honestly. It's such a good, just overall, like everything about it, right? Like the food, the come in and pay as you can. How they started off with meal preps or catering just so they could open the doors for this.
Yeah.
It's honestly just a very humbling experience because you don't think about Livingston County, especially having
No, not at all.
these type of issues, but
No.
it's true.
You think that, yes, like I had mentioned earlier, you think that Livingston County, we have all these car dealerships and we have these nice neighborhoods that, oh, we're in this perfect bubble.
Yeah.
We're not in a perfect bubble. You know, like, and that was when I went to that church downtown, I went to go drop off clothes, and so these people that were looking at me, and I saw down there, they had a very homely look, and I was like, oh, like these people didn't come here from, you know, a Wixom, a Highland, a Redford, somewhere from, they're right here.
Right.
Like they live a few miles from me and you, and it's, you know, they're going through struggles, whether it's a temporary struggle, whether it's a permanent struggle, whether it's self-inflicted, whether it's someone else's. Like, you never know what's going on with people.
No, you don't know anybody behind closed doors, right? And anybody, it's the same thing with like just the social media part of it.
Yep.
What somebody does behind a wall is completely different who they are and when you see them.
Sure.
So, but this whole concept is just, it's brilliant. And like I said, I knew that this was a thing. I didn't know what that thing was, right?
You didn't know the extent of it.
No, I knew that they offered food, and I just thought it was a restaurant. And that was it.
That's what I thought it was too. You're like, we're going to Ivy Table. I'm like, the what?
Right. And I thought it was more like you see those places where like buy a slice of pizza, you can pay in advance for a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
That's what I thought this was. Like, all right, people just come in and pay a little extra money, and then if somebody
Right,
needs
the
it, they
next
take a ticket
person,
off the wall. Like,
that's kind of what I thought the concept was too. I didn't realize the in-depth of what they've gone through.
Yeah.
And not to mention what they were talking about, the Thailand stuff.
yeah, no clue.
Like, that was super cool.
Well, and the fact of like the whole shopping list. Like, you get a free meal. Like, hey, here's a little shopping list for you, all discreetly. Let me go back. Let me
Right,
go
low
pack
key.
up your food to go, and it's groceries or whatever.
Meanwhile, you got breakfast and lunch for the next 4 days.
Right. You know, when we talk about this every episode, but when we started this, it was more about the bar and restaurant industry, and we just kept finding really nice and cool people and started hearing their stories, and this is just almost at the top of the list. Like, just like who they are and what they're offering here is ridiculous.
Which is hard to really say that too, because we've met a lot of really cool people, or
Right.
we've known a lot of really cool people that we've met with, and they all have the really good story, and they all have their hearts in the right place. You know, like, we go from meeting with Troy a couple weeks ago, where we thought like, oh wow, like, you remember how like just like warm our hearts were, and just like
Yeah.
our cup was filled after meeting with him.
How do you beat a story like Troy?
Not saying that it's a competition,
Right.
But also, it was just another feel-good moment while being here. Like, there's a couple times where like I had to kind of like take a breath, like, oh wow, like I don't. Like that, I didn't want to get emotional. It's just very, just, you know, when they're talking about what they do and just the things that they've encountered.
There was a few times then they were talking, and I had chills like go
That-
over me.
that's
I'm like,
what
I
I
was
mean.
like, ooh, I didn't think of it
I
that way.
have feelings.
Right. Like, you know, and we're in that holiday time where it's a lot harder for people. There's
is.
pressure to
There's uncertainty.
right there, and there's pressure to I gotta do this for my kid. I gotta and all right, well, maybe we won't get a meal this week because I gotta buy this extra thing for my kid because I want to give him a Christmas. Well, maybe you can just still come out for dinner and get that meal that you were going to skip, or
Right.
or even if they're closed, you can go to one of their many locations for food banks and get a meal. If you're embarrassed to be seen, then go to one of their places, grab a meal, and go. Or
Free meal fridge. That is
Right.
that is one of the coolest concepts. You know, like you see the free. What is it? The free like little books all around neighborhoods, right?
Yeah,
Where they have
the
like the little
libraries.
libraries. Kids can go up, take a book, leave a book. Like, this is leveled up.
Well, and you see it all the time. Like, I have a little stand that I have eggs or whatever else, and it's like throw $1 in for the eggs. But this is next level.
Yeah.
Just thinking. And maybe you're watching this and you own a business, or you're well off, or you have some extra money, and you want to know what to do. Well, this is a great option.
It's a great option.
Right? You can help people that are in need and know that it's not going to, like we said, overseas where you don't know where your money's going. Like,
Go to your neighbor.
It's-
And you know what? At the end of the day, like, nobody knows what the future holds. You could benefit from this at some point.
right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you could be on hard times. Everything's going all hunky-dory. Something happens. Like, we have these places. The fact that we have a place like this in our community, it's, again, chills. Like, this is cool.
It's, you're almost, if you do help out, like, you're almost helping your future because, like you said, if you do need it, well, you helped it in the past, so now you have it still around versus, they have to close doors
It's
because...
closed because not enough people were helping in the past, and it got overlooked. And I tell you, every time I drive by here, I'm gonna have a conscious effort to just look into the parking lot, where before I didn't even realize this was a place. Like I said, the location's not ideal, but really, that's not what it's about.
No.
Like, I was talking with her in the back. I was talking with Barb in the back, and I kind of said, I was like, it doesn't matter the location. It's just like a church, so where you have enough like-minded people that are all in one area. That's what makes it. It's not.
Right.
It's not the four walls on the outside. It's what's on the inside.
Absolutely. And like I said, you can see the passion in their eyes, right? And that they want to do all the things.
Yep.
And I'm sure.
And they're overwhelmed.
They
There are
are,
only two
right?
people, and then they have all the volunteers, and that's what they said. They're like, well, we don't want to, but you know what? You have such a good product. I'm sorry, but you're going to explode.
It's going to
You're
happen,
going
right?
to get bigger, and it's
Might not
only
be
gonna
this
help.
year. Might not be next year. Might be in 10 years.
But
That
it's-
all of a sudden you add in one more day, right?
Yep.
Maybe you had a Saturday, but you never know. Or maybe you are looking to have a bridal shower or
Yeah.
a baby shower, and you're
Yeah,
like, I need a
absolutely.
place to do it. Well, you could do it here, which then the money go there, and then if you wanted to, you could then get food from them too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're still doing what you need to, but you're helping out those in need as
Yep.
well. And like I said, you know where the money's going to go because they're just good people, and you can see it. Menu's right at the front door.
Yep.
It's right there.
It's right there, and they said it's suggestive. If you want to throw a couple bucks, cool. And it's not like, you come in here and you say, I'm going to throw 20 bucks at this, and they put it in their pocket and put it in their gas tank. No, it 100% goes right back into this business.
Well,
I
from
don't even
my-
want to call it a business. It's a 501(c)(3),
Right.
but you know what I mean.
I mean, it sounds like the only people that are on payroll are their actual cooks because
cooks.
they want a certain thing, which that makes complete
Sure.
sense to me.
Well, we just walked back there, and they were giving us the tour, and you had two ladies back there washing dishes, completely volunteering.
Yeah.
Like they told us, they're here.
It's a Monday.
Yeah, it's a Monday at 3:00, and they're just back there just washing dishes because they want to help.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it sucks in that aspect to where it's like I see this and I want to be able to do more, and our lives are busy, right? Like sometimes it's hard enough for us to try and coordinate when we're gonna do when we're gonna film,
Right, yeah.
because we're all over the place. You were coaching, we have our kids, we run businesses and all that stuff, and I wish that I could commit and donate some time here, and maybe maybe myself, maybe you, maybe our wives hold us accountable. Maybe we should try to come and do a donation. See when they have a big event coming. Maybe we can help do some dishes for a few hours.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If it's something that we can swing in there, it's just good vibes, good people.
That's it, right? It's not like I'm, a lot of people will be like, oh, I did my volunteering for the year.
Community
and-
service. No, that's
Right.
not what that's not. And I don't want to do it either to say, oh, look how good and awesome Good Samaritan. They make me feel good and want to help out.
This was a good conversation with them.
It was.
And you, like I said, you see it in their eyes
Mm-hmm.
and their faces that this is just something that means a lot to them, and it goes to so many good causes, especially our neighbors here first.
Yep.
Right? Like a lot of times you give the money, it goes somewhere you don't know who it's going to. Well, it's going to start here, and then it's going to go other places, but it starts right here at home in Livingston County.
Could be your neighbor. Could be you. Yeah.
You just never know. So I've put all the location in there. I've got all their Facebook, all their socials, their website. So if you want to make a donation, you can go on their website and do it right there. If you're just wondering what you can do, I'm pretty sure you could just call up here and ask, Jessica or Barb, like, what can I do?
What can I do?
What do you need, and what can I do for you?
We're approaching, we just wrapped up Thanksgiving, like you said last week. We're approaching Christmas. I believe this video is going to come out when?
This will be the 15th.
The 15th. So, that's plenty of times right before the holiday. I know that they mentioned they might not be open during that week, but there's still a way that you can give back. If you've got, if you can spare a couple bucks, a couple hours, reach out to them.
Well, and let's be honest, the restaurant business more, the slowest time of the year is January and February because most people spend all their money on Christmas.
Christmas, yeah.
So after Christmas, it's going to be really hard because I just spent all my money. I have to pay my credit card bill. What am I going to do for a meal?
Yeah.
Well, they might get really busy here, so it might be the perfect opportunity for you to help out
Help donate
financially
some back.
or just physically.
Your time.
Yeah. So, I mean, the whole worth a shot, yeah. What's not worth a shot? Everything they offer here is just amazing and it's good. And like I said, if you're a business, you're an individual, somehow this will benefit you, just don't hesitate to reach out to them or us, and we'll be happy to help. Anything you got to add?
No, like I said, this is just a different episode. I think it was very like I said, I didn't even feel like cracking jokes or this. It was so wholesome. It was so informative, and it just there's so many people out there that are not as fortunate as myself, yourself, and others, but there are twice as many people out there that have such a wholehearted willingness to help those people. And I'm just glad that we continue to keep meeting those people week after week.
I agree.
And there's no difference with Barb and Jess.
No, not at all. And that'll be the thing, at the end of all of our videos, we have the blooper reel of things going wrong. And honestly, I don't know if we will have this one, just because it was such an impactful, meaningful talk that this might be the first, and who knows? But
I mean, Jordy's gonna be disappointed that we're not filming bloopers.
Yeah, we don't, because we film them. But it's just, my heart feels full right now. Yeah. My belly is empty, so I might just buy something while we're here. But it's just, it feels good, especially with the holidays approaching and everything else, that you just want to help out those in need, and this would be the place to do it if you ask me. So,
I agree, man.
I mean, with that, we'll be back in 2 weeks. The next episode will drop the week of the new year. So the 29th will be the next episode, and we'll kind of go from there. But until then, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Are you in? Have you ever been asked that?
Nope.
Lies.
All the time.
Lies.
I've only been asked that.
Love you, Alyssa.
Hi.
Good. Why are we still here?
Here, you can have that.
Good.
God.
What do you mean? That was good stuff.
I know.
Lies.
Just haven't eaten. And cut.
I don't even want to be rude or
There's nothing to be rude about.
a dick. But normally, to you, I would just be like, I'm gonna be funny, but there's really nothing to be.
I guess that's good. Can we
I'll
start with
find
that?
something.
Can we start with that?
I'm sitting by you. I'll find something
That's
to
true.
rip on you for.
Like, all of a sudden, I just feel like being a dick.
Well, that was heartwarming, but here's the real. No, I'm just kidding.
Let me tell you how I really feel about this.
Let me tell you how I really feel about Jake. We don't have enough time. Is my microphone on right now?
I mean, you're on, but I'm not going to use our audio.
I have to pee. That's what I'm saying. Should I take my microphone off?
Nope, leave your microphone on. The best part is I might actually have audio for bloopers, but not actual video of bloopers.
Oh, good. Great. This is a very nice bathroom. Nicholas, out. Or wait, should we go Saint Nick, out? Ho, ho, ho!